So I'm back. Let's get started. So we last left off. Now we're on episode 3. I love Jesus, but I party. Okay, let's go. I really love this shoot. It's so random. Like, this shoot is so random. Like, this beginning, all this B-roll. When I was doing it, I was just like, man, I probably look like a mess. I look like a fool right now. I look crazy. But you know what? It's all about stepping out of your comfort zone. And I did that a lot during this season. You know, doing things that I really normally wouldn't do. And I loved it. And I love this. I know it's random. I know it's weird, but that's just how I am. Like, you know, I'm random, I'm weird, and I love it. And nobody can tell me any differently. I'm going to continue to be doing this. I'm going to continue to be random, weird, different. It may not make sense to you. It may not make sense to me. But you know what? It's all about art. And I love it. You know, don't be afraid to express yourself, even if it may not make sense or it may seem a little weird. That's what this is all about.
It's hard. Facing some of the temptations and challenges.
I really did like this shoot. Like, I really like this shoot a lot. It kind of reminds me of a music video a little bit.
What will it take to be a successful Christian?
I know, so random.
Until Jesus comes back.
You guys, I was just so proud of myself.
Hey, my good friends Mike and Delaney are coming over to do some catching up. I haven't hung out with him.
There's a reason why Mike is in this so much, just because, like, he understands, he's a visionary, he's a creative, he creates things. We connect on that level so much. He really wanted to be a part of this, and he really wanted to be involved. And his beautiful fiance Delaney, like, we're all really good friends, we're all very close. When we get together, it's just such a good time. As you can see in this episode, we stayed like maybe an hour or so after we were finished recording this, and I even had to stop this because it was going on for so long. Like, there was so much more to this conversation that I kind of feel like I want to put out, but I don't know. I love friendship. I love friendship. I love relationships.
I was going to have like an open bar or any type.
So I just want to talk about the setup. I know it's weird, but it was just kind of difficult. I couldn't really think about like how I wanted to do this. I'm usually the one that's doing the camera movements and everything like that, but I just felt like it would have been too much for this. So I just like kind of did this, but it's weird, I know, but hey, you know, this is YouTube. This isn't Netflix, okay? Like, it's not, you know, some big grand thing. That's why it's kind of weird, like the angles and stuff like that, like with me holding it, and then like, you know, the tripod. I know I got a few like comments about that too, but you know, this is YouTube. It's not something, you know, spectacular, but you know, I am always up for creative criticism.
At this point, I'm not worried, really. I feel like a few years ago, I probably would have been worried.
I don't know. I kind of feel like some people may have a problem, but
I mean, it's the difference between. I think there's a difference between drinking and being drunk. So.
like the
Yeah.
other day, well, I think it was last Wednesday or the Wednesday before last. You have to be careful about like everything that you do, and I know like there's a price.
That's one thing that I have realized, I've noticed, is like, you have to be careful about what you do and everything that you do, because everything has a consequence no matter what. Like, you know, it could be good, it can be bad, but you know, when you have good discernment, because it's all about having discernment, when you have good discernment, you know, it can lead to really good and great things. And so when it comes to drinking, I know it's a really big gray area for a lot of people. But, you know, drinking and getting drunk are two different things. And I feel like a lot of people really associate drinking with drunkenness. You know, there's just so many different arguments when it comes to that. But honestly, it just is all up to you really it's all up to you. It's all up to your own discernment, to your discretion, and what you feel is right, for your own self. Because I feel like a lot of times in the church, people see other people doing things that they wouldn't do and consider it wrong or consider it bad, when in reality it's just not good for you, but for that person it may be a completely different story. And there's just a lot of judgment, I feel like, based on that. Just because it's something that you wouldn't do doesn't make it wrong for someone else to do, per se, because we all go through different things, we all have different struggles, and what one person may struggle with may not be something that somebody else struggles with. And I feel like that's where a lot of church hurt comes from. It's because like people judge other people based on what they're doing. It's something that you have to just keep in mind and be mindful of, because it's just, at the end of the day, honestly, we're all just striving to be better, to do better in Christ, and to be better Christians, and to be more loving and caring, and to get to heaven. Like, that's our main goal, is to get to heaven and bring as many people as we can with us. So if we spend so much time judging other people based on what they're doing just because you don't like it or it doesn't work for you, it's just not good. It's just not good. Where was I trying to go with that? Like, I completely lost my train of thought while I was talking. But yeah, it's a lot to really take in. It's a lot to take in, really. Yeah.
Proverbs or something that says something about drink but don't get drunk.
Something
It's
like
so wicked.
that.
See,
Yeah.
drinking.
And then like Jesus turned water into wine, so it's just like it's like such a
Yeah.
gray area.
There's so many gray areas.
People think.
It said, was that like the wine was like a fine drink or something like that, so it wasn't.
I've heard things like that too, like
There's just so many
like
gray areas in the
kombucha.
Bible.
If you guys know what
It's just so
kombucha
difficult.
is, it's
And
kind of
even,
like a fine
with,
drink. It tastes like wine, but it's not really
like
wine,
tattoos and piercings and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
I need a haircut.
yeah, me too. That's why I'm wearing this hat.
That's why I'm wearing this hat. That's why I'm wearing this hat, because I need a haircut. Yeah, the Bible, there's just so many things. And that's why I just feel like it's really up to you to decide and figure those things out for yourself. It's important to have like the church and of course your friends and things like that, but a lot of things should be between you and God. That's why we have the Bible, and that's why we have the Holy Spirit to help us, and to help us understand and to help us with our journey, because it's not easy, obviously, and there's so many great areas in the Bible. It's just like, okay, that's why it's important to spend time in your Bible, to read your word, and to have a conversation with the Holy Spirit. We're never going to figure this whole thing out until Jesus comes back. Honestly, we're never going to figure this whole thing out. It's so much, but I feel like when Jesus comes back, and I don't know how it's going to be like, but I feel like when Jesus comes back, when we get to heaven, everything's just going to make sense and we're going to understand it. But on this earth now, during this time, we gotta stay prayed up, and we gotta stay in our word, spend time with God.
Because it's literally impossible. Not impossible, but it would be, for us, like now, to follow all those statutes and commandments,
It's a lot.
Like, it's impossible.
It's a lot to follow. It's a lot to follow.
That, but God knows my heart thing. Like, He knows your heart. Maybe you don't. Because you're saying, like, maybe you don't. A lot of people think a lot higher of themselves than they actually are.
Yeah.
They give themselves,
Yeah, God knows my heart. Okay. So God knows your heart. And like when Delaney said maybe you don't, I was just like, man, because you can say, I just feel like that whole God knows my heart thing is a religious thing. When I tell people that I'm not religious, they're like, what? You're not religious, but you talk about God and all that type of stuff? No, I'm not religious at all. This is a lifestyle. This is more than just, going to church every Sunday. This is like actually living it out and actually having a relationship and actually talking with God and trying to better yourself. It's so much more than going to church. It's so much more than, all of that. There's a lot to it. And, that's the type of stuff that was maybe religious, because I just feel like when it comes to religion, it's a lot of just doing routine stuff, and just following, I guess like a structure or whatever. But when it comes to Christianity, and that's why I know this may sound weird, but I feel like that's why gospel music is so popular, and that's why gospel music is considered in like the Grammys and the Billboard charts, because it's more than just religion or being religious. It's a lifestyle. And I feel like that's just a whole different topic for a different day. Like, that can get really deep really quick, really deep really quick. But anyway, I digress. Okay, this song's called Blimp, and I heard it on Dear White People, and I loved it so much. And it's just like a really, really fun song, poppy song, and I just felt like it would fit this part of the episode. I tried my best to make it as weird and random as possible. Like, I know this whole scene is weird and random, and with the music and everything like that, but you know what? That's just how I am. That's how I like to, do my art. Weird, random, funky.
You don't like bowling? Yeah, I just came out to have fun, I guess.
I really wanted to show like an array of friends that I have. These two, Jared and Alex. I know Jared from work, and Alex is Jared's friend, but we just hang out frequently. And so, I really wanted to show like more than just one side of my friend group. And the next season, I'm probably going to even show more, like expand on that even more. Like Jesus, he associated himself with a lot of people as well. Alex was killing us, and he said he didn't like to bowl. Me and Jared were doing horrible. Bowling is so much fun. I suck at bowling, but it's so much fun. You guys hear like the tempo change and everything? This part I was so upset. Because like I was doing my technique. I was rolling. I like to hold the ball in both my hands and just roll it. Kneel down and roll. And so I did that, and I got a freaking spare. And Jared did not get that because he's a terrible cameraman. He sucks, and I'm still upset about that because that was an amazing moment. Oh, I just love the music distortion. I love this part. See, I'm telling you, rolling the ball like that is very effective. Very effective. The distortion. Man, I suck. The whole point of doing like the music distortion was just kind of like to show the progression of the game. And so like as the game progressed, the music started getting more distorted. And I don't know why I wanted to do that, but it was just another one of my random, artistic, weird, visionary moments that can't be explained. Yeah. I'm weird, I know. But y'all love it. It was at this moment that I knew that I had at least beat Jared and I wasn't in last place. I really wanted to show a little bit more with this, but it's all just about having fun. Like, just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you can't have fun and have a good time and enjoy yourself and enjoy life and really, really experience the best out of life. And I kind of wanted to show that with this episode. All right, on to the next episode, and this is the final episode.
I find inspiration in almost anything. I'm inspired by nature, I'm inspired by art, I'm inspired by film, I'm inspired by music, but most importantly, I'm inspired by God.
I just love the B-roll.
With God,
it was so cool to incorporate like Do the Right Thing, and I love God. And this fun fact, Do the Right Thing is one of my favorite movies of all time. I really love it. It's really inspiring, and I get so much inspiration from that movie. Just like the way it's made, the writing, the acting, like it is just so good. Yes.
Of course, the creativity comes from God.
I really do feel like black people are the most creative people in the world. That's just my own opinion, but you know, black people are just so creative, but we just don't get the opportunities and we just don't get the platforms to really express ourselves. But I'm so glad that we have people like Issa Rae, like Spike Lee, like Ryan Coogler. I think that's how you say his name. Ava DuVernay. I think that's how you pronounce her name. But it's great that we have creative black people like them who put out really, really good content for black people. And not just for black people, like they're creating content for everybody now. But they are black creators and black directors and producers and writers. And they're doing such amazing things. And they're so inspiring to me, especially like Issa Rae. You guys don't know, Issa Rae, she started out on YouTube, and I kind of got like my show, the Chronicles of Awkward State Black Boy, from her. She had a YouTube series called she had a YouTube series called Awkward Black Girl, The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl, something like that. And I kind of like got that inspiration from her, but now she is creating a show called Insecure on HBO, and it is amazing, and she is so freaking talented, and I've been following her before she got big, you know, and just to see her, like, I feel famous too.
Ships are just automatic to you. And I think that when people
Christians
try to
are.
do things the same way all the time, it gets boring. So you have
Exactly.
to be current, you have to
That's the thing. I feel like, especially like in the church, like we do the same things over and over again. We have our skits, we have our mimes, dancing, all that, but what else can we do? What other creative things can we do to impact the world besides what we've been doing for years and years? There's so much more that we can do. God has instilled so much greatness and so much power on the inside of us. How can we use that to impact the world creatively?
We show Christ in different avenues, different ways you never thought of.
When it comes to creativity and Christianity, it's really lacking, and I just feel like there's so much more that we can expound on. But it starts with the Bible. It starts with God. You know, that's like the main thing. Like, that's the big thing when it comes to creativity and Christianity. How can we do more?
So how do you find ways and avenues to express such creativity? It all starts right here.
Fun fact, so when I was in my car shooting this was a completely different day than the next clip, because I'm on my way to Mike's house. And I just wanted to add this in. It's an illusion to make you think that, you know, I'm actually on my way to Mike's house right here, when actually I was on my way to a different location. You guys didn't really need to know that, but yeah, that was just a little fun fact.
So I'm meeting up with other creatives to talk about what they're working on.
So, Michael, he's a music producer. I'm gonna put like a lot of his stuff in my bio. But him and his brother, they work on music and they've been putting out stuff. And I mean, like Mike's producing, it sounds very, very professional, like something that you would hear on the radio. His stuff is so good, and his brother Nicholas is a really, really good rapper. Like they done some really amazing things. And Jared, you saw him in the first episode. He's putting out music as well. Like, he's a rapper, and he's gonna be coming out with an EP. And so like they've been working together, and I just wanted to show like some of the stuff that they're doing. Nick was not in it. He was so tired.
Yeah, I got you on camera.
I had to get that.
It starts with me for the most part.
I was really interested in their creative process and like the things that they did to create their music. I feel like it's so important to see like how other creatives create their work and their creative process. Just to kind of get insight into, things that you can implement in your own creative process as well. But everybody is different too, so, what may work for someone may not work for someone else.
A lot of it happens over these emails. Oh, shoot. Here it is. And then next
I
thing,
love
oh,
emails.
shit.
I love emailing. I just feel like it's so official, emailing is so official. I've said this before. I feel like it's so important. I always say it's so important, but it's important to, you know, support your friends, you know, and support their work, especially if it's good. Support them all the way.
Everybody got their own style. Like when I write, it's different as opposed to when I'm like trying to.
A lot of times, you know, when I'm at work or when I'm just like laying down in my bed, I come up with like an idea and I have to write it down immediately. I have to put it in my notes. I have to do something so I don't forget it, because, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're creative, stuff just pops up out of nowhere, you know, out of nowhere. Like you're always thinking, your mind is always going. And, you know, if there's something, like if you have a good idea, you know, you got to make sure you record it. You got to make sure that, you know, you have it so you'll be able to use it later, because, you know, you never know how that one thing could change somebody's life, or, you know, can make a difference in somebody's life. So, you know, it's so important to just have that handy, you know, have something handy, have something ready, that you can use for later.
Artists and creative in general, like you're always in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
I was just saying that always.
On the toilet, while it's raining,
Yeah.
driving in the car, or even like in the studio, like at
Your
all
mind's
those
always
moments
going.
where like
For me, my creative process,
I was so upset that I had this big zit on the side of my forehead, and it's not because of my skincare routine. It's because I realized that when you get pimples on like your temples, that means that you're dehydrated. You don't drink enough water, and I really don't drink enough water. So I'm really trying to cut back on my soda drinking and start drinking water more, because I always get pimples on the side of my face. I always just, you know, just have like my problem skin, but when I do get zits, it's always like on my temple. And sometimes it can be huge. It's so embarrassing. That's just my life. That's just my life, and it's real.
I get inspired so easily. Like everything inspires me. Everything, like
Yeah.
art, nature, like, you know, people.
This whole series, you know, draws from inspiration from a lot of different things, and so, you know, I'm continuing that as a creator. I'm continuing that.
Myself, especially like doing this series, like, you know, I've challenged myself and I've stepped out of
Yeah.
my comfort zone. I'm awkward, obviously, as you guys can see. Like, you know, I'm awkward.
I feel like I've kind of
I feel
shown
like
the
I'm
awkwardness a little bit
sometimes.
throughout this
And
series.
just because they're black doesn't mean, you know, I gotta support them.
Yo, this stuff is good.
If the stuff is
Yeah.
good in your blood, like no doubt, I'm gonna support black
Right.
business, especially if the quality is good. You gotta support.
See, man, I really feel, because, you know, not to knock YouTubers and things like that, but when it comes to YouTube, there is a lot of mediocrity, you know, especially, you know, when it comes to, I hate to say it, but especially when it comes to black YouTubers, because you just see the same thing. You see challenges, you see pranks. That's all you see, challenges and pranks. It's like, can you come up with something else? Can you come up with something else? And like, they have millions of subscribers and millions of followers. When you just see the same stuff over and over and over again, it's all based on good looks and popularity, because, you know, those people, like, they have people behind them that are supporting them, and they have yes men, and, you know, they have people who really love them. And, no, not saying that I don't have that, but, you know, they really go hard for them, and it gets popular and starts trending, it gets viral, and they get even more people. So that's why, you know, I do this, you know, and honestly, I do this just for me. Like, you know, I do this for myself, to challenge me and to, you know, really to work hard. But, you know, I also want to put out really good stuff, and I want to put out substance, quality, content, good stuff that will inspire people.
For people, but you can't like just allow. I feel like you can't allow mediocrity
Exactly.
to like, continue. You know
can't,
what I'm saying?
and it happens so
Definitely
much.
single out black.
Yeah, so we want to go out there and want to support. But now we have, you know, shows like we have Dear White People and Insecure.
Excellent.
And,
Excellent.
we have directors and producers like Jordan Peele who are actually like putting out like real quality stuff, like real good stuff.
And I really do feel like it's important, you know, for black directors and you know, for Black creatives, not just to create things for Black people, you know, create things for everybody, for all people as well. You know, it's so much more than just our community. I feel like that's what Ava DuVernay is doing, and Jordan Peele and Ryan Coogler. You know, I feel like they're doing this, you know, and they're inspiration. You know, I really do look up to them. All right, guys, so that was the end of that. I'm gonna start uploading regularly here on YouTube. I'm not gonna have like a set schedule. I'm just gonna upload whenever I feel like it, honestly. But I'm gonna upload, and it's gonna be a good time. So please share, like, comment, subscribe. Let everybody know I'm back, and I'm not taking no more breaks. No more breaks. And if I do take a break, then you know that something big is about to happen. Okay, that's the only reason why I would take a break, because I'm working on something big. Okay, so just let y'all know that. All right. So that was that. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next YouTube video.